Have you ever wondered about the inner workings of Volusia County's public transit system? Hello and welcome to Volusia Magazine. I'm Amber Patterson. Today we'll get a rare look at Votran's bus maintenance facility in Orange City. We'll learn more about the business incubator at the Daytona Beach International Airport, and we'll find out how flu season is serious business. Then we'll take a look at gardening in the fall, and Community Information Director Dave Byron will be joined in the studio by his guest, Director of Volusia County's Corrections Division, Marilyn Chandler Ford. Those segments, news, and more coming right up on Volusia Magazine. Stay tuned. Volusia County owners of Houligans Restaurant and Pub have turned to the site of the former Olive Garden on International Speedway Boulevard in Daytona Beach as their newest location. The prime spot across from the Volusia Mall is owned by the county-managed Daytona Beach International Airport. The Volusia County Council recently approved a 30-year lease with Houligans Pub and Club, partly owned by Volusia area businessman Gail Lemerand. The other Houligans locations are in Ormond Beach and in Port Orange. The airport site has been vacant since September of 2013 when Darden Restaurants, Olive Garden's parent company, built a new Olive Garden and Bahama Breeze adjacent to the Volusia Mall across the street from the former airport location. Steve Cook, Director of Business Development for Daytona Beach International Airport, said in addition to benefits of having such a popular restaurant at its location, the property also will generate significant property tax revenue to Volusia County.
As you know, we're operated as an enterprise fund, which means we receive no local tax dollars from Volusia County. So these kinds of agreements are very important to the airport economic system. This site is on International Speedway Boulevard. Houligans is a great restaurant, and we're really pleased that the council approved it and went forward with the Houligans restaurant agreement. It's going to be a 30-year agreement. They're going to be paying rent for the whole 30 years. They're also going to be paying ad valorem taxes on the improvements back to the county, so there's a benefit to the county directly on this agreement, and they're going to be a great economic development for the airport and for the area.
Houligans is expected to invest approximately $3.5 million in the new restaurant. Under the terms of the 30-year standard lease with the county, Houligans will pay $149,000 in annual rent, or 2.5% of gross receipts, whichever is greater. After 30 years, the property and improvements will revert back to the county.
Again, if you look at our product, and this is a prototype of what we're looking to do here at the Speedway site. It's very similar to what we have down in Port Orange. But again, I'm very proud to say I think we're helping head you guys in the right direction with not only a great looking building, but also a great product. Thank you again for the opportunity, and look forward to being your partner for the next 30 years as well.
For more information, you can visit flydaytonafirst.com and click on Business Opportunities. And that's not all that's happening at the Daytona Beach International Airport. With 3 years of promising success under its belt, the Volusia County Council has extended its partnership with the University of Central Florida to operate a business incubator program at Daytona Beach International Airport.
The Volusia County Business Incubator is one of many tools in the toolkit for our economic development ecosystem that's designed to assist residents and business owners in facilitating the growth of their respective business model. Business incubation program is proven to help their clients improve their rate of success in launching a business or in maturing that business.
Taking action at a recent meeting in DeLand, the County Council agreed to a 3-year extension of the partnership with a county contribution of $250,000 per year. The incubator takes young companies with growth potential and provides them the education and structure to succeed and thereby create new jobs.
We credit a lot of our growth. We grew fast in 2 years, and we were our business and now we're employing. There's a total of 9 of us. So a lot of that we definitely can attribute to being part of the incubator.
The county began a partnership with the university in 2010 with the opening of the Incubator at 601 Innovation Way on the east end of the Daytona Beach International Airport. The Volusia County Business Incubator currently has 17 clients that are aggressively pursuing business growth in technology, manufacturing, health, or service industries. Upon graduation from the Business Incubator program, companies typically have 7 to 15 employees and an annual revenues showing over $1 million. For more information about the UCF Business Incubator at the Daytona Beach International Airport, you can call 386-872-3101. In a move to reduce costs and increase operation efficiencies, Votran, Volusia County's public transit system, has a bus maintenance facility in Orange City. The 5-acre environmentally friendly facility at 924 East Rhode Island Avenue includes offices, shop space, and equipment yard, and fueling station to be used by Votran and other county divisions. The commercially zoned site formerly housed a land clearing and grading business. The facility's green features include recycled pavement and water recycling bus wash. Votran's main operations facility in South Daytona recycles in excess of 547,000 gallons of water annually, and the new Orange City maintenance facility is expected to recycle 135,000 gallons annually.
So the facility is exciting for a variety of different reasons. It'll result in savings to our budget, and those savings will come through a significant reduction in our deadhead mileage. And what deadhead mileage is mileage that a vehicle is traveling where they're not actually in revenue service, so they're not picking up passengers and collecting fares. It should result in approximately 85,000 less deadhead miles throughout the period of a year. So that's a significant savings to us, and it'll also result in a reduction in employee hours, where employees aren't driving from the east side of the county in Votran vehicles to start working on the west side of the county. So it's going to be a nice facility. It's going to have a fueling facility for buses. It'll have a bus wash facility and a shop where preventive maintenance and repairs can be performed on buses.
Votran riders are encouraged to visit Votran.org and click the Join button at the bottom of the homepage to receive timely notices about bus service changes. The website also provides up-to-date alerts and real-time bus information.
St. Louis encephalitis, West Nile virus. These mosquito-borne diseases may be living and breeding in your own backyard, but you can fight back. Inspect your property, potted plants, barbecue grills, roof gutters, boats, anything that might collect water and allow mosquitoes to breed. Use insect repellent. Cover up at dawn or dusk when mosquitoes are most active. Do it for the health of your family.
Learn what else you can do to help reduce the mosquito population at volusia.org/mosquito. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, nationwide, an estimated 20,000 children are hospitalized each year with influenza. Influenza is also deadly, taking the lives of nearly 26 children around the country during the 2011-2012 flu season. The flu is serious business, and Stephanie Strong tells us about a creative partnership between the Florida Department of Health and Volusia County Schools, and a former NFL player to keep our children healthy and to teach flu a lesson.
Tony Baselli was a giant on the football field during his days with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Today, Baselli is just as large off the field. This time, his opponent is influenza, and it's a fight to keep children in Volusia County healthy. The program is called Teach Flu a Lesson.
It is a true partnership with the school district and the health department. Also, I'd be remiss to say, also a partnership, because one of the reasons we're able to do this at no cost to the families is we have great partners with all the different insurance companies around the state of Florida, both the private and the managed Medicaid, and that's also why if you do not have insurance, we can offer it to you at no cost as well. So no one is excluded, everybody's included.
Westside Elementary School student Brandon James steps forward to be the first Volusia County student to receive a flu mist vaccine under the Teach Flu a Lesson program, which is designed to vaccinate all county public school students who return parental consent forms. On this day, the fifth grader receives his vaccine from public health nurse Livia Horn of the Florida Department of Health in Volusia County.
The vaccine that's going to be used is the flu mist, which is a nasal inhalation form of the vaccine. It's a matter of squirting the vaccine up into the nose. The difference between that version and the shot is, first of all, the nasal version is more effective. It not only produces antibodies in the blood, but also antibodies in the nasal and pharyngeal area, the throat area, so it's kind of double protection.
Each year in the United States, an average of 20,000 children under the age of 5 years are hospitalized for flu-related complications. It is recommended by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention that all persons aged 6 months and older receive a flu vaccine every year.
Well, the flu mist won this year. The ACIP said it's the preferred vaccine for children up to the ages of 8, from 2 to 8. And then after that, it's obviously pain-free. For any of us who have kids and taking them to the pediatrician or somewhere to get a shot, you know there's some screaming and yelling. So the flu mist is a very effective vaccine, and it's pain-free, and the kids seem to enjoy it more.
Children are more likely to get the flu or have flu-related complications because their immune systems are still developing. Schools tend to serve as incubators of influenza in each community. That is why it is so important for Volusia County to get vaccinated and teach flu a lesson. For Volusia Magazine, I'm Stephanie Strong, Public Information Officer for the Florida Department of Health in Volusia County.
For more information about this and any other health-related issues, you can log on to volusiahealth.com. Our residential horticultural specialist, Joe Sewards, says fall is a great time to grow vegetables in Florida. Today, he's going to show us several ways to grow fruits and vegetables at home, which could add up to huge savings on your grocery bill.
Hi, welcome to Horticulture Today. My name is Joe Sewards. Today we're going to talk about vegetable gardening in Florida. If you don't already know it, fall is an excellent time to grow vegetables in Florida. The weather starts to cool down, there are fewer pests and diseases to worry about, water pressures are reduced, so it's a very good time to grow certain crops for the Florida vegetable garden. Here at the Extension Office, we're going to be showing people various ways of growing fresh fruits and vegetables at home. Anything from traditional vegetable gardening in rows to raised beds to hydroponics. And I'd like to show you a few of those examples right now. This is an example of traditional vegetable gardening in rows. We want to show people how to do this and then compare that to how vegetables grow in this type of system versus other types of systems. As you can see, we've already planted a variety of squash and beans and cucumbers against the fence here. These will grow up and cover this fence eventually, and we'll have a tremendous amount of productivity here. Now, if you don't have room in your backyard for traditional row crops, there are alternatives. This is one excellent alternative. If you have poor soil, poor drainage, if you don't have space, you can create raised beds out of a variety of materials. Here we've done it out of landscape timbers. We have filled the beds with inexpensive garden soil that you can get at most any garden store or anywhere that sells garden supplies. And in this particular bed, we've planted squash. This bed here is going to be dedicated to hydroponic gardening. It's going to be a floating hydroponic system. We're going to line this bed with a piece of plastic to create a pool of nutrient solution. We're going to get a 4x8 sheet of plywood, cut holes in it, and we're going to grow vegetables hydroponically. Mostly leafy vegetables. Lettuce does well in these systems, as well as Swiss chard, spinach, and other leafy vegetables and some herbs. The plants grow so quickly that in the time it takes to grow lettuce in a vegetable garden, a traditional vegetable garden, you can grow 3 crops of lettuce in a hydroponic system. They grow so quickly. It's a little known fact that plants can grow very well in decomposing organic matter, and that's what these hay bales are. They're simply decomposing organic matter. We'll get a couple of crops out of these, then when the hay bales are exhausted, we can simply spread them on the rest of our garden, get new hay bales, and start all over. So it's a very easy way to grow fruits and vegetables where you otherwise thought you couldn't. Another feature of the edible landscape portion of the new landscape here at the Volusia County Extension Office will be cisterns. And basically what cisterns are giant rain barrels. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a system attached to this drain that will divert the water into the cisterns. There will be a filter on here to capture debris that might otherwise come off the roof and clog the cistern. And the system itself will be heavily filtered before it makes its way to the vegetable plant. So the water will be clean, it'll be filtered, and it is a very efficient way of saving water in the home landscape. If you have questions about fall vegetable gardening or any of the alternative systems we have on display here, give us a call or look us up on the web. For Horticulture Today, I'm Joe Sewards. Feel free to call us at the University of Florida Volusia County Extension Office, or you can visit our website as well. The phone number is area code 386-822-5778, or you can go to volusia.org/extension.
Now let's head into the studio to join Community Information Director Dave Byron and his guest, Director of Volusia County's Corrections Division, Marilyn Chandler Ford. Dave?
Thanks, Amber, and hi, everyone. You know, on any given day, Volusia County's Corrections Division can have well over 1,000 inmates in custody. While most taxpayers don't see the county's jail operation, it is one of the most expensive components of the county budget. So today, we'll give you a glimpse of what it's like to manage the county's inmate population. Our guest in our studio today is Marilyn Chandler Ford. She's the Director of Volusia County's Corrections Division. Marilyn, thanks for being with us.
You're welcome, Dave. Always a pleasure to be here.
How you doing?
I'm doing great.
You have a interesting, challenging job in county government, running the institutions. For those folks over there that out there that don't understand the county's corrections operation, and goodness knows most people don't see you, give us kind of a general description of your operation.
Well, there's two institutions. We're midway between Daytona and DeLand, out on US 92, and we hold male and females, people that are pre-trial, so they're not yet convicted, awaiting trial, and that's the largest proportion, about 1,100, and then about 400 sentenced to county time, so that would be a year or less.
Yeah, and so I guess it's important to point out that any police agency that makes an arrest in Volusia County, they would enter the county jail system.
That's correct. There's, I believe, 14 law enforcement agencies, and then if you include FHP, about 16 agencies deliver to us.
It is one of the most expensive components of the county budget, right out of the general fund, so that means every property owner in Volusia County has a vested interest in making sure that this is sufficiently managed. How much are you talking about in terms of the budget for your operation?
Our budget is approximately $34 million. Sounds like a lot, but when you realize 1,500 inmates in custody every day, over 325 staff, and we do everything. We're a small city.
Right.
Laundry, meals, mail service, recreation, church services, plus custody. You begin to understand the scope. It's about $70 a day, which really compared to other jails nationally, and certainly those our size, is really quite cost efficient.
You know, and one of the other things, Marilyn, that we haven't talked about a lot is the fact that in the way the county is set up, the county's corrections division is managed by a professional administrator. In some counties, maybe a lot of counties, the jail is under the sheriff, and that's not the case in Volusia County.
That's correct. We've been independent since 1972 when we went to a charter form of government. There's 6 jails that are independent in the state of Florida, and nationally, I can't give you a count, tends to be larger places, cities that are not under a sheriff.
You know, let's talk about the jail for a minute. You know, that facility, you don't know what type of offender you're going to get. I mean, you could get someone that would be in jail for, let's say, multiple traffic infractions, to someone that could be accused of a capital crime. I mean, it runs the gamut of the type of inmates that you're housing.
That's correct. We have everything from low-grade misdemeanors to capital and life sentence, and people that return from death row when they're on appeal for their criminal case or if they're testifying in another case.
So is it accurate to say that when you're looking at the jail operation that it would be a maximum security facility? Is that
one of the institutions is run as a maximum secure institution. The other one's run as a minimum medium institution.
And you have what? How many staff?
325, approximately 275 of those are officers, and then the others would be professional case counselors and then clerical staff.
One of the great things about the way Volusia County's criminal justice system is set up is you have this coordinating group that includes the players in the criminal justice system that works together to try to manage the population, because it is an expensive operation. Tell us about that group and why it's been so successful, because really we haven't built jail space since like 1987, and that's almost a miracle.
That's correct. Volusia County is one of the national models. The group you're referring to is the Public Safety Coordinating Council, PSCC, and Florida statute provides for that. Every county can have one, although they don't have to. Volusia County's had one since the late 80s, and it grew out of concern about the jail population at the time, and that's one of the core things. And we've been very successful. The chief judge is on it, somebody from the sheriff's department, public defenders, somebody from the state's attorney, and then some treatment providers and private probation. And they really work together so that when our population gets high, certainly the courts can help cases move faster through the system, which reduces the amount of time somebody's sitting and taking a bed.
You know, I want to talk a little bit about medical, because I don't think a lot of the taxpayers may be fully aware of the fact that when an inmate is in your custody, you're responsible, the county is responsible for their medical care, and that is a big element of your budget.
That's correct. For the past couple years, it's been anywhere from $7 to $8 million. But when you realize from the minute they walk in the back door, they have to get evaluated medically and mental health and medication and verify those things. Then if they stay with us, they have to have a complete physical within 14 days. We have chronic care clinics, and then if there's particular consults or emergency room. And of course, a lot of people coming into us don't take their medications or choose not to see doctors when they're released, and so we get people with diabetes, hypertension, all sorts of things that we're obligated to make sure is taken care of. We do have drug treatment in the jail. We have a program through Haven Recovery Center, and they do 60 days inside and then they go outside for treatment. And Haven Recovery also provides some alternative diversion treatment beds for people that don't necessarily need the in-jail portion.
And you have other programs in the jail designed to, I guess, if you will, simplify this, but improve, someone can improve their lot in life. For example, it can get a GED maybe.
That's correct. Yes, we have education programs through both the school system as well as Daytona State College. We have religious programs, we have life skills, we have some parenting classes. So we have a variety of things.
The idea of it is so that people don't come back. They do their time and they don't come back.
Yes, so they can do something productive while they're sitting there with us that will transfer over once they get out.
Tell us what it's like for a typical inmate in jail. I mean, a lot of the public, you know, thinks that they ought to go out and bust rocks or whatever, and then other people think, well, you know, they're babied in the facility. What is it like to spend a day in the jail?
It's pretty regimented, and I think most people don't realize that wake up is 5 o'clock in the morning. Because of 1,500 people, 2 buildings, we start serving meals at about 5:30 till 7:30. Then lunch starts 10:30 to 12:30, and dinner 4:30 till 6:30. In between those times, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, you then have programs that are going on. People will meet with their attorneys, or those that aren't involved in programs may play board games in the block or go out to recreation. But everybody has to get along. It is quite regimented inside.
Marilyn, what's the rules or the law as it relates to, you know, you have a lot of citizens that say, well, put them to work, you know. Let's say I'm a pretrial detainee. I haven't gone through the system yet. I'm in waiting for my case. What can you do in terms of making people work?
When you're pretrial, you're not yet convicted.
Correct.
So we can't force you to work. You have
Right.
to volunteer.
Right.
And that's because when you're pretrial, you're more like the person in the free world that has a choice there.
Right.
Once you become convicted, we can require you to work, and if you don't work, then you can lose gain time to get out early.
Right.
But of course, you have to overlay who medically has a medical problem that is not appropriate for work.
Right.
So that for the sentenced folks that are no work medical, they're not penalized for not being medically able to work.
And I suppose you must have to analyze risk factors as well.
We do,
Yeah.
as to where they get an inside job or an outside job. And that is one of the things we found over the years. We've had fewer people in the classifications to work outside details, and we have seen a rise in people that medically we just can't put to work, and perhaps they've reported a medical condition that would cost us more trying to figure out
Right.
what are the parameters of working. So.
But you do use the inmates when you can to help keep costs down. I mean, don't they help in the kitchen and clean
Absolutely.
up and
They
that
run
sort of thing?
kitchen, laundry, basic cleaning. Even if you're no work medical, you're expected to clean your own cell and help in the day room.
Right.
On any given day, we have about 150 inmates that are running the laundry, the kitchen crews, mowing the grass and doing work, and those save taxpayer dollars,
Right.
because in some jails they don't use inmate crews to say in the kitchen, or they may use some contract
Right.
labor for some of the outside maintenance.
Marilyn, for people out there that may want to know more about the county's corrections operation, do you give presentations, or where can people get more information?
Well, they can go to the county website, www.volusia.org, select corrections, and they'll find a series of our annual reports which cover statistics. And we'd be very happy to do public presentations. All they have to do, my contact information's on the website, so if they'll contact me, we'll set something up. Always happy to talk about corrections.
Marilyn, I want to thank you for sharing the information, a very important part of county government and a big part of the budget. So thanks for sharing the information with us today.
Thank you, Dave.
Our guest today, Marilyn Chandler Ford. She's the director of the county's corrections division. And with that, Amber, we'll go back to you.
Thank you, Dave, and thank you also for watching Volusia Magazine. If you have any questions about the show, you can feel free to give us a call at any of the numbers you see listed here, or you can log on to volusia.org and click on the News tab at the top of the screen to find us. Incidentally, you can find the County Council's meeting calendar there too. In fact, you can use volusia.org to find out about meeting dates, workshops, topics of interest, activities, and how you can become involved. And we hope you won't forget to listen to Volusia Today. That's Volusia County Government's weekly public radio broadcast. Volusia Today airs every Tuesday and Sunday mornings on the local radio stations you see on your screen. For Volusia Magazine, I'm Amber Patterson. Have a wonderful evening.